I am Siobhan Benita and I am running to be the next Mayor of London. I'm the candidate for the Liberal Democrat Party. So I decided to go into politics myself in 2012, and I'd always worked in government, but I was an official, so I wasn't a politician myself. Having worked closely with the other political parties, I actually thought they were starting to get quite dysfunctional. And what I had seen in government was that quite often you had ministers who were very similar. They all had similar backgrounds, similar points of view. And so it meant that we were creating policy that I didn't think necessarily would work for everybody in society. When I first went into politics, I decided to run as an independent candidate for Mayor of London in 2012. And when I looked around at the other candidates who had come forward that year, they were the same 3 white men who had stood before, and I just thought, in London where there's kind of nearly 8 million people or so, surely we can have a bit more diversity than that. And actually, if somebody like me wasn't prepared to come forward and say, okay, well, I think maybe I can give this a go, then we're never going to change, I think, and we're never going to get different types of people coming forward. So I think there were lots of reasons, but that was definitely one of them, that we just need different kinds of people coming into politics. And the more diversity of views and experiences and backgrounds that you can get, then I think the better our policy making and decision making will be. The best part of my job is definitely the fact that I get to travel across London, so all the boroughs in London, and I just get to meet every day amazing people who are doing amazing things. So whether they're working in charities or companies, different organisations, and I also get to go out with a lot of the people who are providing the public services in London. So I was on the London Air Ambulance, right on top of one of our hospitals in London, where you have this amazing view. You get to hear what they do. I get to dress up in kind of fireman's equipment and all those kind of things. So it's just that variety of these brilliant people that I get to meet and all the places across London that I get to visit. My very first job was when I was 15 years old, and I started working in my local hairdressers. And my job, lots of responsibility. I got to make the tea for the clients and the other staff in the hairdressers, sweeping the floor. And actually, after a few months there, I actually got to shampoo as well, which I was actually quite nervous about at the time. I wasn't very good at it. I used to get people quite wet, actually. What I learned was that you have to make people feel at ease when they're coming into something like that. It taught me how to talk to all sorts of people. We had people of all ages coming into the hairdressers as well, so we had lots of quite elderly people coming in, and actually part of why they wanted to come there wasn't just to get their hair done, but it was also to have a chat with people. And also just really important things like learning to turn up on time and be reliable and all of those kind of things. So that was my first job, and I actually really enjoyed that. The best piece of advice I've ever been given definitely was from a person that I worked with when I was in government, in the civil service, and it was to make sure that you listen to all the things that people are saying about you, all the feedback that people give you, even if it's uncomfortable to listen to. So don't just listen to people who are telling you how great you are. And actually, as you get more senior in positions, there are a lot of people around you who tell you all the time that you're really good. That's not always very honest, and actually being open to as much feedback as possible, whether it's positive or negative, I think that was definitely the best bit of advice from me, because then you get a true sense of how you're coming across to people and how you can improve, and there's always room to do things better.